Nobody understands eternal life. Everyone seems to think it'd be amazing being able to live forever, ignoring all thoughts of death and what comes next, and looking only at the future, stretched infinitely in front of you. Even I once thought of things this way. That's why I did it. One day, I'd come across a strange star-shaped necklace with a bright red ruby in the center and what appeared to be Latin imprinted on the side. A talisman, I thought. I picked it up, thinking little of it, and took it home. That night, as I lie in my bed watching television, the screen suddenly went black. Words appeared on the screen.
"One wish,"
it said. I was baffled by this. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a bright red light. The talisman's jewel was glowing. One wish, huh? Let me live forever. Upon saying this, the television went back to regular programming, and the jewel stopped glowing. It was instantaneous. I turned off the television and went to sleep without further thought. Working 60 hours in a week will do that to you. I woke up the next day, and I chalked it all up to being a dream. The oddest part, however, is that the talisman wasn't there. Had I dreamt of that too? That was the only reasonable explanation I could come up with. Fast forward 3 years. My wife and our 2 kids are taking a road trip from our home in New York City to Myrtle Beach for a vacation. That's when things changed forever. A semi-truck driver, exhausted from his long journey and lack of proper rest, swerved across the center line. I was driving a 1980s hatchback, which crumpled up like a tin can. The crunching, the screams, the glass shattering, all of the noises enveloped me. I flew out of the windshield, hitting the semi-truck's large grille and landing 20 or 30 meters from the scene. I wasn't killed. I wasn't even knocked out. My blood ran cold upon the sudden realization. The talisman and the wish, it was true. But my thoughts were cut off by another realization, the accident. I sprinted to the car. My children sat unconscious in the back seat. Blood ran down my son Jimmy's forehead, and my daughter was largely unharmed. Thank God. But then I looked at the passenger seat. My wife wasn't there. I walked around the car, only to be met with her mangled, broken body, lying bloody on the ground. I screamed, falling to my knees as grief overcame me. Both of my kids suffered serious injuries, but nothing life-threatening. We had the funeral a week later, and my wife was cremated. The sorrow was almost unbearable, but one thought triumphed all: my survival. Many questioned how I was unharmed. I lied and said it was luck, but I knew damn well it wasn't. 5 years later, when my son turned 12 and my daughter turned 14, I told them something I hadn't told anyone yet, that I believed myself to be invincible. They both believed me as I expected. Flash forward 30 years. My kids are grown up. My friends are all aging, but I, even at 66 years old, still looked like I did 38 years ago. People seemed to notice, but nobody said anything. I assumed this was a side effect of the invincibility, but then again, this would also work to my advantage. Flash forward another 40 years. All of my old friends have died. My children are elderly, and I'm still the same as I was. Watching everyone die around you, it's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemies. Eventually, my children kicked the bucket too, then my grandchildren after that, then my great-grandchildren. And I was there to see their lives, see them rise, fall, and die. I watched civilizations do the same through the course of history. Nobody really ever noticed. Around 6072, I had taken up teaching at a college. Over 4,000 years worth of knowledge makes you a great teacher, trust me. That's when the nukes went off. Hundreds of thousands of nuclear warheads sent all over the planet. Complete planetary annihilation. I witnessed the hellfire and felt every agonizing second of unbearable pain. I wished only for death now. That was my one wish. Oh, how things change. A few thousand years later, society had risen from the dust, rebuilt and reformed. I took up numerous jobs around the world, though nothing ever seemed fulfilling. Every advancement, war, plague, famine, all of the good and bad I witnessed for eternity. Fast forward a few million years. Humans are long gone, except me, of course. But this begs the question, is eternal life really life? No, it isn't. It's an inescapable hell, an infinite purgatory. Skip forward a bit more, a lot more actually. The end of the universe has occurred. Now only subatomic unbinded darkness. The pain that I constantly experience cannot be fathomed by you. But I will tell you this. One day, I began to visualize a new universe, similar to the one that I had once inhabited. I thought of every agonizing aspect, creating everything as I saw fit in my head. Every slight piece, one after the other. I played out events, created new people. This is why you exist. You're welcome. Hey guys and ladies, thanks for watching. If you want me to tell your story or read a creepypasta, email me at the address in the description. Come follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CoreyRhino, where you can watch me hardly do anything. Click the link in the description to check out some shirts. I got True Scary Stories pizza coming shortly. This story touched on the power of your mind for a second. And so I wanted to talk about that your focus determines your reality. So if you get up every day and say, my body hurts, that's what you tell people, that's all you fucking think, that your body hurts, so it's gonna hurt. Or that you tell yourself all the time that you're not good enough. You're thinking shit like that. A lot of the things you say to people, the things you talk about are about that. It's like, I'm not good enough. Well, guess what? You're not. And you have yourself to thank for that. So instead of telling yourself everything's fucked up and it'll always be fucked up, tell yourself that something amazing is coming. Everything you want's coming. And it's also not just telling yourself that something amazing is coming. It's like, what would it feel like if you had that thing, or what would it feel like if you had it already? So anyways, you should try it with me because I'm trying it. And there's a saying that I like. I don't know who said it. It doesn't matter who said it. But it goes, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. So anyway, be good to animals, even people. So.
Ja, snäma, Bergsbus, Rish. Okay, Stooch. You ready to read the story? I'm gonna read the story. Thank you. Well, bless you, my sons.